Hey guys, Dylan here from Flipside Music.
Hi.
Today I'm here with Jake and Nico. They're filling in for Ike. Ike had some crazy oral surgery, so he's not able to talk as easily as normal. So both the guys are filling in, and I think we missed last week. Last week was kind of almost cussed. Yeah. Apparently we're not supposed to cuss in the first minute, so.
Otherwise,
it was a real
no.
doozy.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult. But yes, yeah. Last Saturday was a real doozy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, we'll just roll right into it, and I guess we'll start with Headwop 26. I think we know that guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Do we?
We do.
Oh, okay. Well, Headwop 26 asks, I've been thinking about brands with shtick some lately. Lots of consuming props. I don't know. Oh, costuming.
Yeah, bands with shtick.
So yeah, like classic
not
stuff.
brands. Sorry, I butchered that whole question.
So yeah, you're talking about bands. When I think of that stuff, I always think of like Kiss, Slipknot. Kiss is probably like the king of shtick. I think
A plethora of black metal bands from the 90s.
Yeah, well, yes, that is true. But like in terms of marketing it, nobody did it like Kiss. I don't think.
Yeah, they've marketed their way into it. Like it's like they play disco songs and stuff like that, and they are marketed as a heavy metal band. To me, all the metal stuff in there is all shtick. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, they were never. I mean, they fit in a way. I feel like they look more metal than they sound.
Absolutely.
They always, yeah.
I remember being incredibly disappointed the first time I listened to Kiss.
Yeah, same here. Because I saw their poster, and I think I grabbed Destroyer.
Yep.
And that was,
It sounds so much cooler than it actually sounds.
Yeah, that album cover was like, well, that's the thing. It's like when you're a kid, I think that shit hits home. Like when you look at it, it's like, oh man, they look cool, and then you listen to it, and it's like,
Yeah. Or I always remember
okay.
Gene Simmons, he'd come out there doing like weirdo stuff, and I thought that was so spooky.
Well, I'd never seen like dude with a tongue like that before.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff was weird. I can't imagine what it was like for the kids like in the 70s that actually grew up with it the first trip around.
Yeah.
But when does shtick become a bad thing?
When you try to copyright the horns, that's when it becomes...
Yeah. When you start infringing on Dio's territory, that's when it becomes a problem.
I guess it depends on how local you are. Because, if Kiss does that, no one cares. They're kind of expected to. Or the black metal bands you mentioned, Corpse Paint and all that, I think, comes with the territory. But I guess especially after shutdown and everything, I would be excited just to play. I don't know if I need to rent lighting rigs or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, in terms of local shtick, I don't know. Because you're right, when I do think of black metal bands, it's like they're almost all required to follow Venom.
Yeah, but I also, the minute I see Corpse Paint is the minute where I'm like, cool, I'm going to go stand outside, and I'm not going to watch your set, and I'll probably be like, hey, man, great set.
Pull that classic one. I guess some shtick is good, because, bands... I don't know, if you're not a Jimmy Buffett cover band and you're wearing shorts on stage, there's something about that I'm just try a little bit, but I guess trying too much turns
It's funny.
me off.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a fine line between, lounge look. Like you're just lounging around on stage.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I feel like so much of it, I mean, at least in, the metal world, is, so genre-specific. I have to at least wear black jeans, and they have to be, full-length jeans. Mm-hmm. And boots or sneakers and a black band shirt or something like that. And that's all I can wear unless I'm in a tech death band, and then I can wear a jersey and some some shorts. Yeah, I'm like
Phoenix Suns.
What?
If you're in a doom band, you can actually wear green and purple shirts.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty freeing. Yeah, it's pretty freeing. Yeah.
It's pretty
But yeah, I just think shtick becomes a bad thing when it becomes insincere. So if you're doing it because you have to, then it's probably questionable. But if you're doing it because you love it and you want to do that, I imagine that the people in Itch.io who are playing tonight at Levitt Pavilion, you probably won't know that until later. But
if you happen to watch this and then run right out of your house,
yeah, I guess kind of depending on the band. Sometimes and maybe I'm just a crusty old man, but my mind always kind of runs to what do you compensating for you? You know, like, do you feel like you need to work on songwriting, or that your stage show isn't good enough, or something? I don't know, but
well, that is
I've definitely leaned into. That. Well, we used to wear suits on stage and stuff, and I feel like that was partially just to give people something to look at. But,
well, that and like people knew who you guys were in the audience, so it, you know, like I remember that because like you know, especially you guys were kind of doing more like the Sonics thing where everybody kind of matched too, and it's like that makes sense to me. And I mean, like I would say genre specific bands do kind of have to do it depending on what they're. Because like I was trying to think of like what would you like any of like the glam rock bands or any of the bands that are trying to go for that 70s kind of vibe, like what would they do without all the like all of that current all of that current shtick and like the like you said costuming, like without the period correct clothes it doesn't sell that vibe.
Yeah,
maybe it's just doing thinking for your audience.
Yeah. I think when it becomes insincere is the moment that okay,
that's a good way to wrap up that question.
Yeah.
All right, so next question is from Ben Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber. His question for this week is thoughts on the new EVH Iconic amp. And I haven't done, I know we have some on the way, but I have not done a lot of digging into this one yet.
Yeah, seems pretty cool. I did my first dive on it today, first impressions, and what I guess surprised me was that it was 80 watts. I feel like that's kind of a weird spot for like a high gain amp, but
I feel like these days, like as long as it's between 50 and 100, they're like,
yeah. I don't know. It's only $900, which I guess I get really burnt out on like every amp has to be like $1,800, $2,200 or something like that. So I was that's 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
Well, I think EVH as a whole hits a good spot in that regard.
Well, it was also developed by the guy who made the original 5150.
Oh, okay. Well, there's another.
What was his name? Something Brown.
Brown Sound, Mr. Brown Sound.
Yeah, I don't remember his first name.
Mr. Brown Sound.
But yeah, so I don't know. Seems really cool.
Yeah.
I'm eager to play one. You know, since I tend to play the high gain amps when they come in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should definitely give them a go when they come in. I think Ike said he ordered at least 2 of each color because there's a couple colors.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and the new cab that it comes with.
I
don't know if we're getting any of them, but instead of like Sheffield or something like that, they have a new Celestion speaker designed to work or be companioned with the preamp section of that amp. That's what they said. Okay. So
that's cool.
That's just something neat to know. They're Celestion speakers that are uniquely voiced for that amp.
Are the cabs starting off in 212?
I think it was just 412s.
Yeah.
Just 412s.
I only saw
the handling
412s.
as soon as you bump that 80 watt range, 80 to 100, you're looking at totally different cab situations.
Totally.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to dive into those more when they actually come in.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah. All right. Colin James always has a good question. His question this week is stainless steel frets. What are your thoughts about them? Should they be a standard feature on the prosumer level instruments, which he's classifying in that 1,000 to 1,500-ish range? And I think by prosumer, he just means like the guys that are like pro players that are also more on a consumer level.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I mean, that's like the only thing like with our Charvels that I wish it did have would be stainless steel frets.
Well, yeah, let's break that down bit by bit.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on them, Dylan?
I think they're great. I'm sure techs absolutely hate them.
Yeah.
That would be like the only thing like for the end user. I think they're pretty awesome because, you know, theoretically, as long as you're not using anything that's even harder than the fret, they're gonna last way, way, way longer.
Yeah, I mean,
probably the lifetime of the instrument, I would imagine. But
I'm a big fan. I also like the feel of them. I know that some people will say that they sound different. I don't really know. Maybe I play with too much gain. I can't hear, but I can feel the difference, and they feel way better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in a way, they feel glassier. I know that sounds weird, but everything feels just a little smoother.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the opposite side and say that is like one level of like it's cool, right? And they're really nice, but like I don't want to have to deal with that with like tech. It's kind of like a rain sensing windshield. It's like, wow, that's really neat. Do I really want that? Not really.
Well, yeah, but once you did it, you're pretty much done.
But like, am I gonna have to go to a specific tech every
No,
single
no,
time?
no. That's what I'm saying. Like once it's done, it's done. Like
Your
as
tech
long
will
as
just complain about their tools.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's a costly job, and that was like I mean Nick used to burn through like a set of tools per refret with those. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be more of the thing of like as a tech I would absolutely hate them.
Totally.
How much do they cost?
I mean, usually a whole job for the refret with the stainless steel was about $400.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Not that
Because, like I said, you're literally paying for a set of tools each time.
Yeah.
Well, and then that kind of leads into this next part of the question, where should they be a standard feature on an $1,000 to $1,500 guitar? And I don't think so.
I don't think so. I just think it would be
were.
amazingly nice. I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, if it became like a standard, but no, I mean, and honestly, even then, I don't think there's certain crowds that would go for it. Like, I think a lot of the metal guys would be just fine with it. A lot of studio guys, I'm sure, would love it because they could just have a number one that has those on those and use it all the damn time.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of like classic guys that just like it's like anything. If you touch a Les Paul, people complain about it. If you touch a Strat, people complain about it. So it's one of those that like I think it's a nice upgrade, but I just don't know how quickly it would move to being a standard feature. Oops, there it goes. Oh, bye.
You ever think people just complain too much?
Well, yes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I genuinely do think they're nice for the longevity, but as a tech, they would be a real pain. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, I guess if you want to read the next one.
Yeah. So Nothing Here number 1 asking, what brand/gear do you not carry that you wish you could? I mean, there's heaps of pedals companies.
Yeah.
I learn probably every week about some other new boutique company that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I guess one in particular that if we did have them, I'd be really stoked is the KMA audio stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for a good HM2. So
yeah, honestly, anything I've heard from them's been pretty solid.
yeah,
so. Yeah.
That new Worm.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'd like that company. I mean, there's a few we would definitely like to have that are like direct only. I mean, like I think it would be nice to have Fuzzlord to go along with all the other fuzz stuff that we already have.
Yeah.
So many of our customers want Fuzzlord.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and every single time we get a comment that's like, why don't you guys carry this? You should really carry that. It's almost always like, well, they only do direct sales.
Yeah.
Right.
But in the Fuzzlord vein, have you ever heard Emanating Fist Electronics?
I have not.
See, we're learning something new.
Those all of them are like old tone benders and fuzz boxes and stuff, and they all look so cool, but they're all like $600 on Reverb, and
oh, wow.
I think he only does it like custom, like you order a certain thing from
like
him.
one-offs or however, yeah.
But if you've never Googled Emanating Fist, they are just the coolest looking pedals.
Yeah, I'll have to look into them after. I mean, there's a few like we're still trying to get. Like Empress, I think would be a good one for us to have, especially with some of their more recent releases.
Alexander could be cool.
Yeah, Alexander would be another great one.
That one would make a lot of sense.
I mean, in terms of amp companies, I mean, I think you and I would both love if we could carry Mesa, but they're kind of hard to.
Yeah.
They're a little harder to deal with, but we would love to carry Mesa. I mean, it'd be cool. I'd love to carry like any of the kind of the high watt offshoots.
Yeah.
Like Reeves or any of those companies. Or High Tone, that one's another pretty solid one. Or even High Watt, honestly, they've been putting out some great stuff too.
Yeah.
As far as guitars, I think it'd be cool to carry Strandberg. I like Strandbergs, they're fun.
Yeah.
Now that we have Gretsch, I'm not really missing anything that I really like, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, I'm satisfied now.
We're good.
We're done.
Yeah, I mean, there's... Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, something like...
Ampeg for amps, that'd be sweet.
Ampeg, yeah.
Total Offshoot doesn't have a lot to... Well, it's still gear related, but did you guys realize Dunable started doing some Made in Korea series?
Really?
Yes,
I had no idea. Yeah, I just saw, like, this morning, this guy got one of the, like, the RD style ones.
Yeah.
From, I think they're... I don't know if they were calling it DE or SE or something like that, but it was basically their new import series.
Yeah, I think they
I'm
did a
gonna
little
have to talk to Ben
pre-order
about that.
like 6 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, I had no idea that they were making that move, so...
Yeah.
That's cool.
No,
Yeah.
every time I ever see a Dunable, it's always like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they're kind of ubiquitous for certain genres now, especially in town. I feel like there's certain... Everybody just kind of has them now. Well, that would be one, I guess. So, yeah, we can't tie it into the question. I'd say Dunable would be a fun one to have.
Yeah.
And so nothing here. Apparently, I had to stack his questions because we missed one from like a week before. But he added an additional one to that last question, which is what brands used to have a terrible reputation for quality, but have turned that around. And then on the opposing side of that, what brands have a good reputation but have let their quality slide?
I know we don't carry them, but my experience from like the early Legator stuff to what they're putting out now, I'm very impressed with the stuff that I've seen. Granted, I've had my hands on maybe like 3 of the new releases, but I think they're nice.
Yeah, I was going to say that's definitely one, and I feel like maybe I might be wrong. I don't have a ton of experience, but D'Angelico, I feel like, at least the ones I've seen, have been a lot better than what I'd experienced previous.
Yeah.
But it's possible I just played ones that had terrible setups before. But I feel like that's one that's kind of like they've always been a little easier to get into, especially for like the jazz crowd. But I think lately they seem to be stepping that up a bit.
I don't know if this is exactly that their quality has changed or gotten better, or my tastes have changed. But I think I've enjoyed what LTD and ESP are putting out now more than I did 10 years ago.
That's a good point, yeah, because I never really liked a lot of their stuff. Like, I always wanted to, and then as soon as I got my hands on it back then, I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, but now they have those baritones, and I'm like, this is sick. It's just got one pickup and a volume knob. That's all I need.
I think for something that like used to be really good that I wouldn't play today is like the old PV stuff, like the Butcher and the the old bass amps and stuff. Those have been really good.
Yeah.
But like I don't know about new stuff, and then something that has just gotten better. I think all the Squire and like all the budget guitar stuff like 20 years ago was a piece of driftwood.
There's that. Actually, that's a perfect one. Yeah. Squire. I would say Squire is a perfect one, and I would say Boss. The only reason I'm going to throw Boss into this one, and then we actually got to wrap it up because we're opening. I'd throw Boss into the situation. I think people had the wrong concept or like wrong ideas about Boss, and are finally now coming around because Boss is becoming like the go-to. The Katana is kind of the go-to amp. The Waza series is blowing up, so I feel like they're kind of pulling, even though their reputation took a downward slide for no real reason. I feel like now people are finally kind of swinging back around on them.
Or the Metal Zone stuff, like it's really not that bad.
Yeah, no, they were like an easy one to pick at.
Yeah. They were just the punching bag, I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine that it's probably just because they were so widely available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the boutique market kind of blew up, it's easy to tease, but
or the Behringer stuff, like they're $40 pedals, but they're fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, we're time to open. Ziggy already made his way to the front, so I think somebody's probably getting close. I don't think I said this was the F.A.Q. Season 3, 27. I don't know. It was another slide-in morning, well, that and with, some last-minute subs, so.
We're all halfway through our coffee, so.
Right. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you guys have any other comments, please leave them for us next time. If you guys have any questions for Ike, be sure to throw those in there. And make sure you like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. The liking actually does help a lot too, because that way we can kind of figure out which ones you guys like a little bit more than the others. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one. Catch you guys on the flip side.
See you.